Alright, you made it to the third video. Congrats! And in this video we will take a look at the controls and how you can fly around the model. We already created a small cylinder in the last lesson. If you haven't followed it, please check the previous video to create the cylinder, and now we can fly around it. So the first thing you have to know is that once you come closer to this cube here, you can see that different options are available, including this home icon. And whenever you are lost somewhere, you can always click that button to come back to the original view, to the home view. This is the home view. Next, you can use the scroll in your mouse. You can scroll to zoom in and zoom out. And also, you can use the panning here, the hand icon. You can click and move sideways. You can also zoom in from here, and you can also select an area to zoom. When you press the middle button, it will enable briefly the panning mode. So as you can see, I'm clicking here, and the hand is highlighted. It means that I'm switching to this pan mode. Now, to rotate around the default Fusion controls, you need to press Shift with your left hand. I use pinky for that, so I always keep my hand on the Shift button, and whenever I need, I click it along with the scroll button to move around. And this controls frees up the right mouse button, so you have a big context menu on the right mouse button. If you have selected the Tinkercad mode previously here, then the right movement is the orbiting. And by the way, if you notice that it spins very weirdly and you struggle, first go home and then select here, instead of free orbit, set it to constrained orbit. Constrained orbit will always hold the z-axis pointing up, so the object will be always pointed up, and this is much easier. So you see, in Tinker mode it's much easier to control with one hand, but then if you want to access context menu, you need to press Shift right click. I'll switch back to defaults. So in this lesson we will practice how well you fly around the object. And so we will first remove this object, and in Fusion 360 you can just move in the history. This is the history. These are the things I already made. I created a sketch and then I extruded. So we can just go back in time like this, and then we can click right mouse here to delete all features after history marker, and it will delete everything that we made before. I will click create sketch here. If you don't see this button here, it's probably in the create menu somewhere here, and you can add it by pinning to toolbar or your shortcuts, or you can click the S button in your keyboard and search for create sketch here. Sketch, create sketch. And I will select floor again. This time I will do a cube. I will do a cube, and then we will fly around it and maybe add some details around it. So to create a cube, I want to draw a rectangle sketch first. So I will go to S, search, and then I will type rectangle. And here we have center rectangle, 2-point rectangle, and 3-point rectangle. I want the center one, and I will click in the center. And I clicked once, and I haven't clicked second time, and don't be in a rush, you have time here. And here you can see that the rectangle offers two parameters, and one is highlighted. It means that it expects us to enter the height first. And let's enter, let's say we will enter 3.5. Now I can press tab to switch to the second parameter, the next parameter. And let's enter 2.5 here. So we have a rectangle like this, and now we can fly around the sketch. I'm pressing Shift and the middle mouse button to orbit around, and I'm pressing just the mouse button, the middle button, to pan around. Now let's extrude this, and the shortcut for extruding is button E. If you want to reach it just from the keyboard of your notebook or your keyboard, just press E and it immediately enables the extrude mode. I'm using this frequently. But you can also finish the sketch. Here's the sketch palette on the right. If you can't see it, you can click this arrow and then you can finish the sketch here. Now we can select the extrude mode, or we can search for it, extrude again, and then we select the rectangle that we created and let's extrude it, for example, 5.5 inches. I'm choosing non-round numbers, so it will be more difficult to calculate the volume later, and this kind of forces you to draw and follow me. So now we have this kind of a shape, and let's create more features to it. Let's add more features to it. So first I will choose a sketch, and then I will choose the top surface. And on this top surface I will create a circle, a center diameter circle. We are already familiar. Let's do a 1-inch circle here. Let's finish this sketch. Then I will press E on my keyboard, and then I will select this circle and do -1 inch. And now you see, when I type -1 inch, it detected that there is an object on the way, and it switched the mode here to cut automatically. And here you can actually select different modes to join objects, to intersect them, to create new body. But in this case, I actually want to cut. This menu just shows what objects will be cut if there are many, but for now we have only one. So let's click OK. And now you can see our model has a hole in the top, a recess. So now I want you to add some features on the bottom, just to make sure that you mastered flying around. If you still are struggling with flying around, I recommend practicing this, and also playing some games helps, because this is basically controls same like in gaming. So let's rotate the object to look below it, and let's add a new sketch. We will click not this plane, but this face of the object, and let's add a different shape. Let's add an inscribed polygon. We select the center, and then we can drag to define the size. And this time let's just leave the numbers, random number, as is. Click on the mouse, and as you can see, we have a shape with an undefined size. So to add a size to existing shape, we need to click D, which stands for dimension, or we need to find the dimension here, sketch dimension. I will press escape to exit, and we can also search for it. I click search, and then I search dimension, and you can see sketch dimension. Click this one, and then let's define a dimension. Let's define the distance between this line and this. And as you can see, I can easily define a dimension. I click again, and it prompts me to enter some number. So I will enter 1 inch. And let's finish this sketch, and we will extrude again, and we will extrude this shape. Let's do it 1 inch out. And in this case, the operation is join. So the body will join with this, with the one that we created. It will combine. Let's combine. Okay. Now we have this shape. And I think that's enough for today's challenge. So your task is to find the volume of this item by clicking here, going to properties, go to properties and find the correct volume in cubic inches and send the number in the comments, and you can check the correct answer in the first pinned comment. See you in the next one.